I want y'all to count how many supers I use throughout this full section right here on -50. And before we get a freaking Karen, that's not infinite supers, but shut your butt up before I come to this goddamn mic. Y'all know what it means when we say infinite supers, bro. It means we get our super very quick. That's all it means, bro. That's all it means. Some of y'all be over here trying to nitpick. Y'all be over here like, well, technically, that wasn't infinite super. Man, shut your ass up. You know what we mean, bro. Y'all know content creation. Y'all know how these world work, bro. Y'all know how this world work. Okay? So, already off bat, we're close to getting our super. Off bat. And very easy, my ad. Okay? As y'all see, we already almost, from just that first section, we already almost got our super. We're literally just a tiny bit off. Probably because I was shooting a rocket, but that's how the cookie crumbles, you know? Okay, then we just spam our super. Kill everybody here. Yep. Yes! Yes! Get these little gremlins out of here. Yep. And as y'all see, we already finna have another super. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna get the super before we get to the next part. Yep. Oh, look at that. Another super. Just to get rid of these people that just spawned. Yep. Dang, did you want to spawn again to die? Yep. This build is definitely way more weapon oriented. Okay? I'm listening to that right now. So if you're someone that been looking for something that can be a little bit more weapon focused, don't worry, I got y'all. So now we're gonna chill a little bit. We're gonna purposely wait a little bit to pick up that fire sprite because there is a cooldown on a certain artifact perk for this build. For us to get super energy from picking up fire sprites. So we just waited that out a little bit. Nothing crazy. And then we're gonna pick this one up to get even more. Yep. Shoot a rocket over there. Hey, look at that. Another super. And then we're going to use that. Put some more people severed. Y'all know how that part of the portion of the build works. Shoot these rockets. Throw the healing grenade. I was playing a little too passive because I was gloating. I ain't gonna lie, I was gloating. And I was trying to showcase that I was finna get another super. That's what I was trying to do. Okay. And then we shoot this. Because that was a Medusa freaking Bane right there. It was getting on my nerves, so I had to get rid of them. Had to pack them up like sardines. Sever all them. Shoot that rocket. Do another rocket into the crowd. I threw my grenade on accident. But y'all see, another super. Just gonna throw that at you, my guy. Get you up out of here. Over that. Blow canister up. Some environmental kills. Pop that. Pop that over there. Rocket. Shoot a little Tommy on that build. That little Tommy. I ain't talking about Tommy Pickles. We ain't talking about Tommy Pickles. Talking about, yeah, them damage right there. What I deal with y'all? What a big dude at? Alright, and I know y'all severed. Yep. Do that. Oh my god, the ship came down. The ship trying to get me. The ship trying to deal with me. The ship know I'm doing too much here. The ship know I'm doing too much. They got to try hard to stop me, though. They got to try hard to do that. They got to try harder. Own me another super before I go. I want another super, bro. I want another super. The ship is... Oh, fire sprite over there. Yep. Get you up out of here. Man, get out the L, bro. You got a little bit of health. And that ship just here. Bro. Why if I hop on top of it? Okay. Okay. I went Dane Phantom. Oh my god, it's going. Let me show y'all this build. This is what I mean by this area just buggy. What up, guys? Alchemist here. I got something nice for you. So, today's build, we are not using speedloader select. I know some of y'all hunters happy. Get a round of applause. Get a round of applause. Today, we are using Shards of Galanor exotic armor for the hunter. By the way, comment below, how many supers did I get in that first section? Because I was not counting. So, y'all comment that down below. The exotic Shards of Galanor said, throwing knives, final blow, decrease the cooldown of your super. As y'all see, we wasn't even doing that, okay? And we we're getting our super quick. So we didn't have to invest in no melee stat in this build and try to just do a straight spam melee all day, okay? We want to go more weapon focus here. Hitting a single target with most Blade Barrage knives in a volley causes them to release a violent solar explosion. They finally fixed it now. It's more consistent because it was buggy. That's why I waited to make this build. And releasing scorching solar shrapnels. Hits and final blow with Blade Barrage will return super energy after the super ends. If you hit most of your blades with the Blade Barrage, you will get 50% of your super back. Okay. Now, the stats you want to go for in this build. 150 weapon stat, because the aspect we got on will give us plus 50 weapon stat, so that's 200. So you want to go for 150 weapon stat, and then you want to go for at least, you want to go for 200 super stat, but it's kind of impossible with the armor you're going to be using. So try to go for 160, and then we'll put on 2 super fonts in the helmet. Okay, you want to go for powerhouse armor set. Okay, you probably can put some other ghost, armor specific armor on to get the perfect balance, but this is what I went with. Okay, now the weapon you're using, the main important weapons here. 1, festival flight. I know, guys. Oh, I know. It's just too good, bro. It's just too good. We're using festival flight here for slice because not only because of the artifact, but it's another artifact perk that synergizes with this that's allowing us to get our super back quick. So that's why we're using it. Okay, and then you want to use a solar rocket launcher. I highly recommend the Glass Heaven's Vengeance rocket launcher because it get buffed up damage when you use your super. Okay, it get an extra rocket in the magazine and it get insane extra damage. So you want to do that, and it also say final blows this weapon grant improved bonus super energy as well. That was also helping us get our super back quicker. But I'm mostly here for the extra magazine size and the extra damage from using this. Okay, we're using explosive light. You can craft this if you do have Glass done, you craft this. The role we're going for is explosive light to make our rocket launcher do 30% more damage, and we're going for a cluster bomb for the improved damage of us doing all the crap, right? You could go beta switch, but then you gotta remember in your mind to deal damage with all your weapons before you use it to get that 35%. But I don't think that 5% matters, as y'all can see, right? And then your primary, it just needs to be a solar weapon that does overload. I chose Tommy Matchbook because exotics do more damage than regular legendary weapons, and then Tommy Matchbook is just a fun weapon with the catalyst done. You get cured, you call Scorch, which helping us get our class ability back quicker because of the fragment with singeing. And it's just a fun exotic to use. Okay, so I highly recommend use this if you got the catalyst done. If not though, you can use a weapon like Zilla's ideal from the recent dungeon Equilibrium and get onslaught and gut shot straight on it with ionized heatsink. Ionized heatsink make the weapon be able to shoot way longer than usual, and then gut shot with onslaught lets you just mow down enemies very quick. Okay, so I recommend that, or you just go with the usual heal clip and incandescent or burn ambition. But I recommend gut shot and onslaught if you want to just mow down enemies quick. But this is also an overload solar weapon. And then also, of course, you can use the old reliable Yurtai Apex, which use overload as well. And you can get chaos reshape and attrition orbs on it. Okay, which can kind of help you get your super back quicker even more. Okay, now that I went through all of that, artifact. The reason we are getting our super back quick in the artifact is because of Elemental Supercharger. Elemental Supercharger say defeating exhausted or severed targets with weapons that match your super element grants super energy. So even though we are using Festival Flight to take advantage of To the Shreds, Horror Shuttle, and I think that's it. Yeah, and Horror Shuttle and Unraveling Orbs, whatever. Even though we're using Festival Flight to get the Whooping Mail, and sever everything in the room, we're doing the severing everything in the room for this perk right here, because when we sever targets and kill them, we get a bump of super energy. Okay, so just to give an example, now if I make them all severed and I shoot a rocket, I get a chunk of super energy, right? And then we got something else in the artifact. As I pick this up, you see I got a chunk of super energy from that, and then we get orbs off the ground and stuff. Now pick up this other one over here, get some more super energy. Off that alone, we got 50% of our super energy back, right? Imagine if we actually hit the blaze and get 50% of our super energy from Shards of Galanor. Boom, there you have it. Full super, right? So that's why we're using this as a combo to get a chunk of super energy. We're using gold from lead, so whenever we pick a special ammo, we get heavy ammo, so we can always have a constant rocket launchers on us. Or shuttle, because then the threatlings that we do damage to from the unraveled people, the threatlings do sever, so there's more sever people out there. Unraveling ores to make it easier for the festival flights to do unraveling consistently all day. And then we got elemental siphon on. This is what's making that we get super energy from picking up an elemental pickup. So picking up the fire sprite gives a chunk of super energy. And then we have perpetual destruction, rapid final blow for non-exotic rocket launchers, refund ammo, and increased reload speed for a short duration. We was gonna use an exotic rocket launcher as of tomorrow for this build, but when I seen this was in the artifact, I was like, okay, we just got a free slot. Let's use you know, Heads and Vengeance. That's probably doing more damage because of our super. And just cause them up, you know, a ruckus, you know what I'm saying? So this helps you super back quicker. But I also want to speak on this right here, defeating exhausted and severed targets. Exhausted. Exhaust kicks in when you deal damage with a weapon that does overload. So that's why if I kill this Minotaur, I'll get good super energy from using an overload weapon. I get a big chunk. Compared to if I turned off this artifact perk, right? If I decide to take Element Supercharger off, right? And I kill this Minotaur, you'll see I got less super return because I don't have that perk on. So that's the importance of using a weapon that has overload as an intrinsic perk on it, so you get bonus super energy from killing exhausted enemies with elements to supercharge on. That's why you want an overload solar weapon. So pick your poison on what weapon you want to use that's overload, that's solar. Okay. Now I do want to bring up honorable mentions in this artifact, because if you don't want to use Two to Shreds and you want your super to do more damage, you can go with Limit Break and make it that your super do even more damage. You could also go with Heavy Ordnance Regeneration to get that damage resistance from you spamming your rocket launcher. These are two options you can take. I don't think you should do it and you should lean into the Whipping Mail and stuff, but if you want to change things up because you're too tired of using Two to Shreds all the time, you can, okay? Subclass. This is very important. I'm using Blade Barrage, obviously. I'm using Acrobat Dodge to get that Radiant in this build going, so we do 20% more damage. Your knife can be whatever you want it to be. If I'm being honest, I'm rarely using it, but I do use Knife Trick to do scorch, so I get my class ability back quicker in this build. Healing Grenade on for them get out of jail free cards. If you're ever finna die, you can get restoration started immediately and then start killing enemies to keep the restoration on 24/7. We have on Crack Shot because it's just the best survivability aspect for a solar hunter. You scorch targets, so it helps itself get itself back. And then also too, if you land all 3 shots, you do cure to get your health back. So you ever finna die, just pop Crack Shot and boom, you get your health back. So it's just very good for survivability. But if you feel like you're good at the game and you don't need it, then you can definitely put on Knockdown to make your Blade Barrage do even more damage, because you will get more knife projectiles with it. So you could go knock them down if you want to, but I feel like Crack Shot is the better option for harder end content for survivability. You can't be lethal 24/7, man. You gotta have survivability still in this harder end content. As y'all can see, I was doing pretty good with the damage and stuff without knock them down on, because a Shard of Galanor buff with the second explosion. And then we got On Your Mark. As we get precision shots or kill enemies, whatever, we get weapon stat buffs. If we get times 10, we get plus 50 weapon stat buff. And when we get times 10, we get restoration. So survivability for every kill we get at 10 stacks. We just get to stay alive forever, right? Fragments, we have an Ember of Solace to make that Radiant Restoration on even longer. You can swap this out with something else if you feel like the uptime of your buffs are there. Super strong already, so you could like replace that with like Ember of Beams so that the knights have better tracking, but also for that plus 10 super stat, you definitely can do that. We have on Ember of Searing. This is helping us get freaking fire sprites out there from scorching enemies. That's what Tommy Matchbook is good for. It gives plus 10 class stat as well, and it's helping make like I said, fire sprites pick up for the artifact fire super energy. Okay, and Tommy Matchbook does scorch, crack shot does scorch, so we're good in that department. We got on Ember Singeing. This makes it that we get class ability energy faster from enemies that are scorched. Tommy Matchbook does that. Crack Shot does that. So we were able to spam our Crack Shot a bit more. We have on Ember of Empyrean. So solo weapon kills or abilities give us Restoration and Radiant Extended. That's what I'm saying. You don't technically need Soulless on. This is a free slot if you want. I just have it on for consistency, but you can take this off if you feel like you're getting your solo kills very quick and you're keeping that uptime on your Restoration and Radiant. And then I have on Ember Combustion. So when I do get them kills with Blade Barrage, since we spamming it all day, every enemy in the room at night, and if you got a tanky enemy in that room, and if he around red names, I promise you, there's plenty of times all the red names died and caused a chain reaction ignition, and then the yellow name died afterwards because too many ignition explosions hit them from the red names blowing up. So this is very good, and it make a fire sprite to help, you know, upstart your super coming back again even quicker. Okay, armor mods, we're rocking 2 super fasts on our helmet so we can get 200 super whenever we got armor charges on us. We got 1 heavy ammo finder, so we always have rocket launchers on us. We got on 2 focusy strikes. When I do throw my knife, it gives me class ability energy back, and then we got momentum transfer. When I throw my knife, give me grenade energy back for my healing grenade. Resist mods on our chest piece. 2 weapon surges, solar weapon surges to make our rocket launcher and Tommy Matchbook do 21% more damage. And then we got 1 harmonic scavenger on for our Heads and Vengeance to get more rocket launcher ammo, obviously, so we never out of it. And then we have on Powerful Attraction and Reaper to get orbs around us and make an orb when we kill somebody after doing it because we are spamming it. And then we got utility kickstart, so we use our class ability, we get class ability energy back. But the reason we're using that because the armor set we are using is Exodus Down. This will give us, when we got max armor charges, which is 3, when we use our class ability, we'll immediately have 30% damage reduction in this build from just the Exodus Down armor set. And we can literally just keep picking up all the powers and stuff to keep that on 24/7. This is the build, guys. Very, very broken. Y'all see me use it. Very broken. Go have fun, guys. Love you guys. Appreciate you guys always. And until next time, stay up.